Hello, welcome to a new tutorial presented by the SHLDB. In this tutorial, we are going to see the connective tissues of the head. In the latter tutorial, we have already seen the different the tutorial for different constraints of the head with respect to the bone. Now we are going to see the connective tissues. Now, to see the connective tissue, you need to add up the connective tissues. So we are going to add up the connective tissues in the head. I'm going to have this. Now, at the first point, you see that what the main characteristic of the head is going to be the temporomandibular joint. So the temporomandibular joint is found here, and the temporomandibular joint, if you visualize very well internally, here you are going to have the temporomandibular capsule. You have the joint capsule at this portion here. Now, after having the joint capsule at this portion, connecting this and this is the zygomatic process of the temporal bone, and this is the mandible. Here you are going to have the temporomandibular ligament. So that's how we give the name for the ligament. At this portion, you have the temporal bone, here the mandible, temporomandibular ligament. So this is the first thing to note at the portion. Now, internally, we are going to see, if I take this and then I fade it, so you can see internally through the mandible. So internally through the mandible, you see that here there's going to be a certain ligament which connect internally with this spine and externally with the mandible. So this ligament here is going to be connecting the spine. We've seen the spine on the temporal bone. There's a spine on the sphenoid bone. This bone here, if I touch this area, you realize that it's going to be temporal bone, and you see that lateral is going to be a sphenoid bone. So this spine here is located mostly with the sphenoid bone here. So, and that spine is going to be the spinal. So the ligament connecting the spine of the sphenoid bone with the mandible here, since I faded, is going to be the spinal mandibular ligament. So that spinal mandibular ligament is going to connect with the lingula. You have the lingula, which is found on the mandible, going to be the spinal mandibular ligament. Again, you have a ligament between this part here. This part here is the pterygoid plate, and this is a lateral pterygoid plate. So connecting the lateral pterygoid plate and this other portion internally here. So this part here, so when we touch here, you are going to see this temporal bone. So you see that it connects the pterygoid plate and the temporal bone. So it's going to be the pterygotemporal ligament internally here. This portion is going to be the pterygotemporal ligament. Now you have, again, at this portion, you have this ligament here, this other ligament here, and this ligament is going to connect this part of the temporal bone, which is styloid process. You have the styloid process of temporal bone to this part on the hyoid. So it's going to connect this part of the temporal bone, call it, with the styloid process to the hyoid bone, to the lesser horn of the hyoid. This is the lesser horn of the hyoid, and this is the greater horn. This is the body of the hyoid. The hyoid is not a complicated bone, located individually and not connect, and the only bone which is not articulating in other bones. So this hyoid bone, you have the lesser horn, the greater horn, and the body. So that's the main constraint of the hyoid bone. So now, connecting the styloid process of the mandible to the lesser horn of the hyoid bone, you have the stylohyoid ligament. So that's the next thing. Again, you can see another ligament here. So if you visualize very well, you see another ligament here. So this ligament is connecting internally, and it's not quite very used in the anatomy. So you have the major ligaments which are found inside the head and neck anatomy, and you need to know that the major ligaments found in the head and neck anatomy are mostly used in order to stabilize the temporomandibular joint, because that's the main joint, or with the main movable joint of the head and neck. The other joints, which are the sutural joints, are immovable, and thus the neck does not contain most of the ligaments and connective tissue. So from here we say we have concluded with the different ligaments which are found in the head, and so we say thanks for your kind attention.